Westfest. We have Westfest every Labor Day weekend, and they've been doing that for years. It started off as a donkey ball game, and in fact, the owner of Czech Stop, I believe it was his idea. From the donkey ball game, it just kind of evolved into a festival, and the Westfest. And people come from all over Texas. They come from out of state even to the fairgrounds, and they dance under the tents. Miss Westfest contest, they're high school kids. Yeah, and I think they have to be a certain percentage of Czech. We sponsor girls that try out for Miss Westfest. You know, they come and it's like $20 to sponsor them. You know, so whoever comes and asks us, of course we do.
Sing that Miss Westfest song, Zach.
There she is, Miss Westfest.
Okay, that's enough singing. That's enough singing. That's enough.
And then Saturday we have a parade. We had that explosion in 2013, and so last year the parade, every fire department and EMT, the ambulances from all the surrounding communities that helped us out during that explosion, had their fire truck or their ambulance in the parade, and this past year they came back, and I would assume that they will come back year after year. So the thing about a small community like West and the small communities surrounding it, they all support each other, and that was proven. It's a good place to raise your kids, and it's a good place to live, and it's a good place to work. Everything we have here is made on site. I remember a couple of guys down there in suits and ties one morning. They were in the bakery front, and they were looking at our pound cakes and how we've got them packaged, and there was one said to the other, you know, they fly this in. This comes in frozen, and they just wrap it and put it on the shelves. And I wanted to tap those guys on the shoulder and say, hey, let me show you where this stuff comes from. Arturo comes in at 2 o'clock in the morning and makes our dough. It's a very important part of our product, because the dough is what makes us so special. I've been told, and I believe it. By the time the ladies come in around 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning, his dough is made enough at least to get them started. After the dough is made, it goes into the walk-in cooler, and it sets a bit. And then it comes out, gets to room temperature, and that's when the ladies work with it. That's when they make the various kolaches. I would venture to say that we make thousands of kolaches a day. Without a doubt. How many thousands, I don't have a clue. ladies down there in production have worked together for so long that they don't need to speak. They know what they need to do. We have the advantage, being a mom and pop in a single store, that versus like a 7-Eleven or a Sepco or whatever. They stock all their stores with the same thing, and we just keep changing our menu, improving our recipes, and going from one recipe, one item to the other. Had all these juices left over from berries, and rather than throw them out, one of our ladies over there decided, why don't we make jelly out of this juice? We're just throwing it down the drain. It's just, one thing leads to another. When you're a small independent mom and pop, you can try things, and if they don't work, then you just quit and you try something else.
¿No tiene acá para cortar? De los Rice Krispies.
Whoopie pies. Whoopie pies, I'm from Maine, and we sell whoopie pies in Maine. And I thought, well, why can't we sell whoopie pies down here?
Allá los... No, allá, en el azul. Contéstale, Mari, por favor.
Now, they're not our biggest seller by any means, but they do sell. We don't lose any, but that's because we keep an eye on them. But they are really, really good. And who knows, they might catch on one of these days. We're very fortunate because we have a team of women. Every department in this company is run by a woman. I'm not bragging, but we can't find a man that has the stamina to hang in there until he can, make a decent living. We have a retirement plan. We have, of course, insurance. We had insurance before Obamacare. And paid vacations. It's a little business in comparison, but it contributes to the welfare of so many people. Juanita, she's interesting. Her and her husband, they built fences, and she worked right alongside her husband for years. That they raised their family building fences, and she got a little older and couldn't do it. Her husband got sick, and they used to stop in here every morning for breakfast, her and her husband, on their way to a job. We talked her into working in the store, and she said, oh, no, I can't handle money. She just really underappreciated herself. She decided that she would work production, and she's still with us. She's been with us forever. What a character. She's got a family, I think maybe 5 children, and ended up raising them on her own when her husband died, and she raised them working right here. The ladies down there work more or less like an assembly line, but each lady has her own way of doing things. one kolache doesn't look exactly like the next one, and we don't want it to. We want, when our customers look at our bake case, they see the little imperfections, and this one doesn't look exactly like the other one because they are handmade every day, and the same person isn't making them.
Hey, is tomorrow really going to be busier today?
Yeah.
Like, for real?
Yeah. It usually is like
Way busier.
planned. Because everybody's going home from like the holiday weekend.
So it'd be like Friday times 2. Wow.
Clifton and Sarah work in the oven room together and have for probably a year now. Clifton came to us, I guess, probably a year ago, and he expressed an interest in learning how to bake. I think we first used him as a dishwasher, and he expressed an interest in baking. So we needed a baker at that time, a day baker, and we gave him a shot. And he's worked out really, really well. Sarah came along a little bit after Clifton did, and I believe he trained her. They trained each other. They just really both care about what they do and their product. They're just an excellent team.
When you go back out there, tell Sarah I need her. Don't forget to tell her, bro. All right.
Hey Sarah, when did he do?
I was assistant manager of a restaurant in Waco, and I was working evenings, and I had given my notice because my son was 10 years old and I had to spend more time with him. So the owner frequented the bar there at Pelican's restaurant where I was bartending, and I happened to mention that I'd given my notice, and he offered me the job. And that was in 1983. And I've never looked back. When I come in here every morning, the first thing I do is I come through the office door, and there is the deli, and I pop my head in the door and I say, "Good morning, everybody." Try to have something funny to say, which is not easy for me sometimes. Then I walk through production, and all the ladies down there, and buenos dias to the Spanish ones, and good morning to the others. I've finally gotten them to where they know I'm coming, and they make their rounds before I get here. And so pretty much it's getting harder and harder to find something to gripe about. They're doing a pretty good job down there. There's a Woody's that's going in Temple, which is about an hour down the road. They have 60 gas pumps out there. They're having an attendant in their restrooms 24 hours a day. Yes, we don't have room for an attendant in our bathrooms, but we can't change our footprint. We're doing the best we can with what we've got to work with. Do I have panic attacks at night? You betcha. Because this is it for me. It is scary because these places are massive, and they're new, and they've got top of the line restrooms, and the tiles are nice and pretty, and the commodes are automatic, and just and here we are We're still back, almost at square one. I work on Sundays, and most of the phone calls I get on Sundays are you open? And I say, yes, ma'am. We never, ever, ever, never, ever, never, ever, ever, we never close, ever. And because we say we're open 24/7, but sometimes that just doesn't compute to never, ever, ever, ever closing. Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter, we're open, we're here for them. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be. They count on us being there.
Yes, ma'am. Can I get the name, please?
Have never been locked except for those few minutes. The night of the explosion, ceilings were falling in and some of the windows were cracked. And when I got here, I told him to unlock the doors, and that's the only time our doors have been locked. In fact, we don't have keys. I think we just put a garbage can in front of the door so people couldn't get in. We stayed open because we could. It's what we do.